do you do? You think of how to put it out.
You know, declaration of a state of emergency also comes with a cost too, Red. I mean, we know the situation with respect to the economy is not entirely too good now, and the advancement of the argument is to the effect that we've not really gotten to the point where it has to be a declaration of a state of emergency yet. If in this meeting you do not get some assurance of the sort from the president that there will be a declaration of a state of emergency, what then do you do?
I will continue to talk about it. We'll continue to call the attention of everybody, because this is not a church issue. It goes beyond religion. It's affecting everybody. And if people are dying and you think it's not enough to call for a state of emergency, then I don't know what next we are waiting for. Our house is on fire, and we must all agree to that. Everybody's calling for it because it's affecting all of us now. And a few people cannot just benefit whilst the rest of us suffer it.
All right, most grateful. Let me speak to lawyers in search of democracy. These are legal people as well. Lawyer Theophilus Jimega, you represent Linsort. For you, the call for a declaration of a state of emergency, do you back that as well?
No, I don't really back it. All those calling for the declaration of state of emergency have not told us what to do after the declaration of state of emergency. If you are able to give us an idea of what to expect or what to be done after the declaration of state of emergency, then we might interrogate that and buy into it. But just to say declare state of emergency, after that we do what? And currently the president has indicated to us that a lot is being done. Let us give chance to the ones that are being done to see how successful they are. I mean, if we declare state of emergency, does it mean is it a panacea for us to get solution to everything?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it because you need to cross back to studio before we...
Well, that was Komla Kluche interacting with some of the representatives of organizations invited to participate in this engagement aimed at finding a lasting solution to the Galamsey menace. Now, how many have expressed skepticism about another meeting coming on the heels of previous ones? This particular meeting is seen as a crucial one that should provide solutions to regarding the way forward. Now, majority have also called for the imposition of a state of emergency. Others think it may not be the solution, which was what you heard just briefly. Now, recently, the government has also pushed the declaration of security zones in forest areas and river bodies as a panacea to the conundrum. It is expected that the deliberations will focus on whether to declare a state of emergency or keeping the declaration of security zones in areas infested with the Galamsey menace. Meanwhile, President of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs and Domahine Osajefo Osadieyo Ajimambedu II has dismissed calls for a state of emergency to tackle illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey. The Domahine, known in private life as Daniel Mensah, was among 21 new justices to the Court of Appeal sworn in yesterday by President John Mahama. Take a listen to exactly what he said.
A state of emergency, you think?
No, it has not come to that. Let's look at how much we garner in respect of mining. I mean, once you declare state of emergency, the question is that who can do? If we are not able to get that resources, there will be a gap. How is government going to? So there's a need for us to do it. As for mining, nobody will argue that there shouldn't be mining, but it has to be mined responsibly. That is all the whole thing. People who are doing Galamsey, we are destroying ourselves. There's a need to start. I want to appeal, especially as a chief. We, the chief, should not say we don't have the power. If somebody could do it, it's in the jurisdiction, and not allowing people to do it. Why can't you do it? In Doma, if you come there, I'll arrest you and give you to the police so that you'll be prosecuted. I want to appeal to everybody. They should ensure that the people should not engage in Galamsey, because if you do it and you are arrested, you know the consequence for it. It will not be good for all of us.
And he had the Domahine, who is also amongst the newly inaugurated chief justices to the Court of Appeal. Let's speak to one of the representatives, actually, the General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, Reverend Dr. Kwabena Oponi Frimpong, who is former General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Beatrice. Let me say good afternoon to your terrorist listeners.
Let me first get your thought on what you see as the import of this meeting. Opinions are divided as to whether or not at this time we need another meeting to talk about illegal mining.
Yes, Beatrice, let me say this. For the president to invite people into this conversation is positive, it's helpful. It's helpful in the sense that we may not know what is in his mind, yes, we've seen the Minister of Lands and others, but he, as the president, engaging people, it's a good sign. But I must say that at the moment, through some of you, your media houses and others, we know enough about irresponsible mining in Ghana at the moment, whether it's forest, whether it's water, health challenges, so many things through the media we know. So what we want to hear is, what is the definition of the president when it comes to success of illegal mining in Ghana, the fight? What does he want to see that he will be happy that have been successful? Remember, he's been in office 9 months, and some of his key ministers have, this is a very painful thing, please, listeners, forgive me, but it is this same guarantee fight that the president has lost some dear colleagues and friends, and as a nation, So what does he want to see? For him, what should success be on this guarantee, and what are his timelines? Else, it will be another talk shop. If he's going to tell us all that we know, that Tano is gone, Ofin is gone, Brem is gone, who doesn't know that? That forest, this and that we must all come on board. We've heard that. The arrest, we have seen the arrest, seizure of excavators. What is the impact? So that is what, to me, we've been invited, like you said. That's what we want to hear from him. So he shouldn't tell us more about what even the media have done that better. Because you go on the side, you've shown us better picture. President, please, what success do you want to see? And remember, he will be in office only for 4 years. 1 year is coming to an end. What is your concept of success? Where have you reached? What should we expect from you? Whether we will call it whatever security concept, Ghanaians want to see success. But what is his concept of success? Beatrice, that's what I want to hear from the meeting. Else, it will be another talk show.
Thank you so much. We'll have to end it here. Reverend Dr. Kwabena Opunifrimpong, former General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana. Some 14 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Don't go away.
Hello, Ghana. It's a new year and
finest tunes in sync with us.
Service is investigating a case involving a Kia truck that was intercepted on the Sekaswa Road for carrying 36 bags of substances suspected to be narcotics. Preliminary investigations indicate that on 30th September, some officers from the Eastern Regional Police Headquarters, Koforidua, arrested the driver of the Kia truck, which was carrying goods suspected to be narcotics. A search in the truck revealed that the vehicle, which was halfway filled with sawdust, also had some 36 sacks of dry substances suspected to be narcotics. Now, the Ghana Armed Forces has confirmed the arrest of 2 soldiers in connection with alleged Galamsey extortion. The 2 soldiers, together with 2 other civilians, are said to have attempted a robbery at the Longshine Mining Company Limited at Obuhu, a suburb of Pristia in the Western region. The police arrested them for their alleged involvement in the robbery attempt. A statement from the Ghana Armed Forces indicate that the force is collaborating with the Ghana Police Service to establish allegations of extortion incident involving the 2 individuals. The military said if found culpable, personnel will face the law as any citizen of Ghana. It also recalled that a video circulated on social media showed the uniformed officers being escorted into a police van for transfer to Accra, where further investigations are expected to be carried out. Now, the majority side of the Communications Committee of Parliament has asked Ghanaians to disregard the call by the minority to dismiss the Minister of Communications over the DSTV saga. At a media briefing in Accra, Chairman of the committee, Adam Suleimana, said the minister's action is in the interest of Ghanaians.
In the media, as members of the majority caucus of the Communications Committee, we recognize the minority's concerns. We, however, emphatically disagree with their position and their call for the removal of the minister responsible for communication. This is premised on the fact that the goal of protecting Ghanaian consumers must always be the driving force behind parliamentary activities. In their statement, Honorable Oreku sought to create the impression that there are serious irregularities with the arrangement the minister reached with multi-choice. The majority wishes to place on record that these assertions are wholly unfounded and do not reflect the facts on the ground. There is nothing irregular about the minister's engagement with multi-choice, and there's absolutely no justification for the call on the minister to resign. The minister has acted within his mandate and continues to provide the needed leadership to stabilize and guide the sector. The criticism of the deputy ranking member offers a chance to thoroughly examine the state and progress of Ghana's communication sector, especially given the legacy issues inherited from the previous NPP government, led by Mrs. Esla Owusu Ekufu, former Minister for Communication. Indeed, what the minority fails to admit is that over the past 8 years, the communication space in Ghana suffered greatly from the absence of constructive dialogue between the ministry and industry players. Some of the unpopular decisions that did not inure to the benefit of the interests of Ghanaians included the following. You recall the sale of Vodafone Ghana to Telecel under very opaque circumstances.
And you have Adam Suleimana. He is the chairman of the Communications Committee of Parliament. Now, globally, the World Health Organization, WHO, warns that alcohol is a leading cause of death and disability among the youth, with those starting to drink in their teens facing up to 4 times the risk of alcohol dependence later in life. The landmark 2023 Ghana Step Survey paints a concerning picture as 22.6% of adults aged 18 to 69 are current alcohol users, with stark gender disparities of 30% for men and 14% for women. According to industry sources, total alcoholic beverage consumption in Ghana was about 457 million liters in 2022. Beer dominates Ghana's market with 347 million liters in 2022, spirits 59 million liters, and wine 23 million liters. Labra Musa is the Executive Director for Vision for Accelerated Sustainable Development. He joins us live on the phone. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon for having me, and greetings to your cherished listeners in the U.S.
To begin with, why is VAS calling on the Ministry of Health to expedite the alcohol regulation process now? What's the urgency?
Right, so indeed, let me say that today marked World Alcohol-Free Day. And like I said, World Alcohol-Free Day, a day set aside to, to ensure that at least we raise awareness about the theme, which is enjoy more, and enjoy more from the fact that we can have, merrymaking festivals, merrymaking, everything that, it comes with joy. We are actually, having to take alcohol. But unfortunately, however, Ghana, we do not have, a very comprehensive law that will stick to regulate, the devastating, effect that alcohol has on us as a people, especially the youth, who are the major targets of, many industries, including the alcohol industry. But so on this day, whilst we are marking or, commemorating the day, we thought that it's wise enough to also call on the Ministry of Health to expedite, the alcohol regulation or policy that, has been there for some time now, just so we are able to, to address, the problem that we are facing with alcohol in the country. Currently, alcohol is not being regulated as we are supposed to do it as compared to other countries. The product is very cheap in the market, so, and then we see a lot of advertisements, and you and I know that many of these adverts are targeting young people and the poor and the vulnerable, who when they contract diseases that come from alcohol, they are unable to go through the full continuum of care.
I want us to look at the statistics for women. 14% is quite huge, especially the implications, the rippling effects that alcohol has on women, for the unborn child and all of that. Does it mean that we have not succeeded at the campaign against particularly women using alcohol?
In fact, I would say that we are still as a country, to actually sit down to understand the devastating effect of the alcohol has on everyone. But of course, as you have mentioned, if you look at the statistics, yes, the trend is showing that men, particularly are drinking more, but half of that, percentage is also women who are also drinking more. And of course, this goes to buttress your point about the fact that, alcohol have on women more, than men. The fact that, women faces a lot of, problems when it comes to stillbirth. Women, are unable to conceive, because of the intake of alcohol. Because especially when you're taking alcohol and you want to give birth, something can practically complications in itself. So we need to do a lot more, especially because if you have 14%, over 14% of women in Ghana, taking alcohol, you can see the devastating effects it will have on our children as well.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much, Labra Musa. He's the Executive Director for Vision for Accelerated Sustainable Development, sharing his thoughts with us on the consumption of alcohol in Ghana. Now, one Ghana immigration service officer has been killed and another badly injured in a gun attack at the Bintri Inland Checkpoint in the East Mamprusi municipality of the northeastern region. Let's speak to correspondent Solomon Kanawule, who is following up on this for us. Solomon, what more can you tell us?
All right, so thank you so much. Honestly, it is tough to get much beyond what is already out there. people are scared to talk, and the police are keeping things tight. However, unofficially, I am hearing that their tactics were very organized, which suggests this wasn't just some random act of violence. There are also speculations about whether this is connected to just a robbery incident or beyond. However, this so far is what I am getting, but they are just rumors so far.
But how are people reacting to it?
Well, so as it stands now, everyone is shocked about the whole incident. And then you don't see people patrolling the road as they used to. The still everywhere is quiet, and the residents, some says they are afraid to use the roads. And so as it stands now, residents are saying they are very shocked about the incident.
Thank you very much, Solomon Kanawole. He is Northeastern Regional Correspondent. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on the Midday News today on 3FM 92.7. Log on to 3news.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.
92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
And hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. Coming up, fuel prices begin another round of upward adjustment as Shell and other oil marketing companies increase diesel and petrol amid city depreciation and global crude gains. And the government seeks 3.71 billion cedis in the Treasury bill auction as experts project investor rebound.
We expect government to reverse the under-subscription to over-subscription because investors can make real positive rate of return on their investment within the money market.
I am Michael Obodu. Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Straight into the bulletin now. Some oil marketing companies have started upward price adjustments at the pumps in the first pricing window of October. The increases are in line with projections from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, which warned of marginal hikes in petroleum products due to global market trends and the weakening cedi. The following 3 Business News Desk report has the details.
Some oil marketing companies, OMCs, have begun upward adjustments in fuel prices at the pumps. On October 2, major player Shell increased the price of diesel to 14 cedis 18 pesos per litre, up from 13 cedis 89 pesos, while petrol remained unchanged at 13 cedis 44 pesos per litre. Another major OMC also raised its pump prices by 2% across all products, with others expected to follow from October 3. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, had projected marginal increases for the October 1 to 15 window. Petrol could rise by as much as 2.47% to about 14 cedis 52 pesos per litre, while diesel may increase by up to 3.41%, potentially selling at 15 cedis 17 pesos. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, could also see hikes between 2 and 4%. The chamber attributes the rise to climbing international product prices and continued seasonal depreciation of the cedi, which lost 2.74% against the dollar within the review period, bringing total third quarter losses to more than 15%. Crude oil prices also moved up 1.57% to $68.45 per barrel, with Brent forecast to rebound close to $70 amid geopolitical tensions and renewed supply concerns.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, government is seeking to raise 3.71 billion cedis as it re-enters the Treasury bill market today, following recent undersubscriptions. Inflation now below the 91-day bill yield should attract investors to reverse the undersubscription trend. The capital generated from the auction, which will cover the 91-day, 182-day and 364-day tenors, is intended to refinance maturing government obligations and alleviate immediate financing pressures.
The auction follows a period of investor caution, which resulted in recent Treasury bill sales experiencing undersubscription. However, a financial expert believes the market dynamics are now shifting to favor investment, offering an incentive for a strong turnaround in investor interest. A finance and tax expert and head of finance at Merban Capital, Nelson Kujo Kwagbaji, points to the current macroeconomic environment as the catalyst for a reverse in the trend. With the September inflation rate cooling to 9.4%, and the yield for the 91-day bill holding steady at 10.50%, the resultant positive real return yield minus inflation is expected to be highly attractive to institutional and retail investors, driving subscription levels up.
We expect more activity within the money market. Government for some time now has recorded undersubscription, but as a result of inflation now going down below the 91-day Treasury bill, we expect more activity in the money market, and to that extent, we expect government to, or the market to reverse the undersubscription to oversubscription, because investors can make real positive rate of return on their investment within the money market.
Government is this time aiming to raise a total of 3.710 billion cedis. The frequent recourse to the short-term debt market highlights Ghana's persistent fiscal strain, even with the strong participation of domestic investors.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, the chief executive of the Ghana Tourism Development Company, Professor Kobi Mensah, says the tourism sector must adopt rigorous service standards to improve customer experience nationwide. He believes the industry can learn valuable lessons from aviation, where high-quality service is delivered consistently despite language barriers. Modern airports serve as global gateways, welcoming millions of passengers from diverse linguistic backgrounds. To ensure smooth operations, they rely on multilingual signage, universal pictograms, and real-time translation tools across check-in counters, immigration desks, and boarding gates. Speaking at the 2025 Hospitality and Tourism Conference and Expo, Professor Mensah urged stakeholders to emulate aviation's approach to clarity and consistency in service delivery.
So you can go to Russia, you don't speak Russian, but you can go through the process and board your plane without asking one question. Because the Russian language is there, the English, the French, So that is what we mean by standardization. And standardization would definitely lead to personalized experience, because you would get the service required.
Professor Ishmael Mensah of the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management at the University of Cape Coast said that while the sector has made significant progress, sustaining it will require a renewed focus on premium service delivery.
There are some countries that are closer to our major source markets. Talk about the Caribbean islands. It is cheaper and easier for an American to travel to, let's say, Jamaica or Barbados. And so, in effect, we are competing with all these countries. And therefore, there is the need for us to up our game in terms of the quality of service that we offer.
So that was Professor Ishmael Mensah. He is of the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management at the University of Cape Coast, UCC. Now, the recent decision by the government of Ghana to increase the farm gate price of cocoa by 400 cedis per 64-kilogram bag has been met with positive appraisal from industry watchers. Director of Policy and Advocacy at the Legal and Entrepreneurship Support Hub, Edward Kariwe, welcomed the announcement, noting that the timing of the increase is particularly crucial.
We have been told about the state of cocoa production in this country, and indeed, we have also seen it. Cocoa production is in serious crisis, and as part of government strategy is to have a comprehensive look at the cocoa sector. And they cannot succeed to restructure the cocoa sector very well without paying particular attention to producer price. So if you take the price just announced, 400 Ghana cedis addition, is part of that comprehensive work that is being done in the cocoa industry to revive it and then to create confidence in it to make it more productive. So to farmers, this could be a good news to them because there's now additional income to go into them.
So that's Agric expert and director of policy and advocacy at the Legal and Entrepreneurship Support Hub, Edward Kariwe. Now, government has reaffirmed its commitment to creating the right policy environment for cashew and oil palm to thrive as major contributors to Ghana's industrial growth and foreign exchange earnings. The assurance was given at the Maiden Cashew and Oil Palm Policy Dialogue in Accra, organized by the Tree Crop Development Authority in partnership with NIRAS under the Ghana Private Sector Competitiveness Program.
According to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, tree crops must play a greater role in driving economic transformation. Speaking on behalf of the sector minister, Chief Director Paul Siama said government is committed to providing the right policy environment so that cashew and oil palm, alongside other tree crops, can significantly contribute to Ghana's industrial growth and foreign exchange earnings.
We're strengthening partnership between research institutions and industry to ensure access to improved planting material and other innovations in the two commodities.
Development partners also pledged their support for Ghana's cashew and oil palm agenda. Magdalena Woost is Deputy Head of Cooperation at the Swiss Embassy in Ghana.
We heard about a lot of also expertise stemming from other countries. This expertise is the common lessons learned from all these experiences are clear. Reforms succeed when there is a coordinated, intergovernmental approach, empowered institutions and an active private sector, academia.
In an interview, Chief Executive of the Tree Crops Development Authority, Dr. Andy Osei Okra, says measures are underway to improve the sector's market offering through the establishment and implementation of a fund program.
We incentivize processes. Journey is the value addition, the industrialization. So they put it there. And as I indicated, this fund is not far-fetched. We are going to introduce, God willing, by the end of the year, we'll launch it and we'll see how best it will continue to help us.
The dialogue, held under the theme Building an Enabling Policy Environment for Developing a Competitive Oil Palm and Cashew Sector, is expected to shape reforms that will enhance value addition, create jobs, and position Ghana as a global player in tree crop exports.
And our report was from our colleague Bismarck Awusa, bringing an end to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website. It's 3news.com/business. I am Michael Obudu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe.